Have you ever felt a place hold its breath, waiting to exhale a story? Tonight, we journey into the heart of such a place of profound silence and lingering whispers. This is the story of Elias Thorne, a man who hunted echoes, only to find they were hunting him. The van's tires crunched on gravel and weeds, pulling up to a skeletal ruin against a bruised twilight sky. This was Blackwood Manor, once an orphanage. Shuttered 50 years ago after a fire, a cruel matron and lost children became the town's hushed tragedy. For Elias Thorne, a sharp, academic sound archivist, it was a cathedral of silence. His life's work was The Residual Tones, a project to capture the ambient soundscapes of forgotten places. Tonight, Blackwood Manor would be his masterpiece. He hauled his gear inside, the air thick with decay and damp stone. His prized possession was a vintage reel-to-reel tape recorder he lovingly called the Echo. He claimed this beautiful, archaic machine could capture frequencies that modern digital devices simply missed. In the center of the cavernous main hall, he set up his parabolic microphone, pressed the record button, and watched the reels begin their slow, hypnotic spin. For 1 hour, he recorded what he came for: the groan of settling timber and the whisper of wind through broken panes, pure, unadulterated silence. Satisfied, he rewound the tape and slipped on his headphones. He heard the wind, he heard the house creak, and then something else. Buried beneath the magnetic tape's hiss was a sound so faint it was almost imaginary, a single, distorted whisper, a dry, sibilant breath that didn't belong. The word was found. Elias froze. He played it back, louder, unmistakable. He checked his equipment, no interference. He scanned the empty hall. Just an audio artifact, he told himself. A phantom on the tape, but the seed of obsession had been planted. The next night he returned, setting up in the children's dormitory surrounded by the rusted ghosts of metal cots. He recorded again, and on playback, the whisper was back, clearer and colder this time. It was a phrase: left her, coward. A sharp, acidic dread coiled in his stomach. This felt personal. For the next week, the orphanage became his ritual, his confessional. Each night, the whispers grew, weaving a fragmented story. He heard a child crying. He heard the name Annalise repeated like a desperate prayer. Driven to understand, he delved into the town archives. Records were sparse, damaged by an old flood, but he found a brittle newspaper clipping about the Blackwood fire. The matron, Mrs. Gable, had died, and so had a teenage orphan named Annalise who had reportedly died trying to save the younger children. A grim satisfaction washed over Elias. He was an audio archaeologist who had just unearthed his ghost. Annalise was trying to tell her story through his machine. He decided on one final recording. He would go to the basement, where the fire supposedly started, and capture her voice one last time. A storm now raged outside, rattling the manor to its very foundations. The basement was a crypt of scorched stone and twisted pipes. With trembling hands, Elias set up the Echo. He pressed record. The machine's red light, a single baleful eye in the oppressive dark. When he played the tape back, it wasn't a whisper. It was a full conversation, as clear as if the speakers were in the room with him. A frantic man and woman, their voices layered over the sound of a weeping child. "We can't stay here," the woman's panicked voice cried out. "Look at her, she's burning with fever." Then came the man's voice, cold and dismissive. "Then leave. I have a chance, Annalise, a real chance. I can't be tied down by this." The woman's voice now full of disbelief. She's your daughter. You can't just abandon us. You can't." The man's voice. It was deep, resonant, and horrifyingly familiar. Elias ripped the headphones off, his heart hammering against his ribs. It sounded exactly like his own. He slammed the headphones back on, cranking the volume to its limit. "I have to." His own voice echoed from the past. "Don't you see? I'm meant for more than this squalor." Then, a crash. The sound of splintering wood, followed by the hungry crackle of a spreading fire. The woman screamed. The child's cries intensified. And then, Elias remembered. Not as a story on a tape, but as a memory clawing its way out of a grave he had dug in his own mind. There was no sound archivist named Elias Thorne. There was only Eli, a failed musician, with a wife named Annalise and a sick baby girl named Lily. They weren't in a famous haunted orphanage. They were squatting in an abandoned building, homeless and desperate. The argument wasn't a ghostly echo, it was the fire wasn't a historical tragedy. He had started it, accidentally knocking over a kerosene lamp in his rage to leave, to escape his responsibilities. He hadn't run from the fire to get help, he had simply run away from them. He had left his wife and child to burn. The entire persona of the meticulous academic archivist, it was all a lie. An elaborate fortress his mind had constructed over a chasm of guilt so vast it had swallowed his identity whole. The Echo wasn't a ghost hunting tool, it was a psychic antenna, tuned only to the frequency of his own damnation. He stared at the machine as the reels slowed to a stop. The storm outside fell silent, and the oppressive silence of the manor returned, heavier than ever before. But the tape spooled one last time, clicking softly as it began to record something new, in real time. He didn't need headphones to hear this one. The voice was crystal clear, cold as the grave, and it came from the darkness directly behind him. You never left, Eli. You just forgot you died with us. What a chilling conclusion to a story about how guilt can create its own ghosts. The scariest monsters are often the ones we create ourselves. If you enjoyed this journey into the dark, please hit that like button and subscribe for more tales that explore the echoes of the human heart. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.